Psalm 84, verse 6. As I go through the valley of Baca, I make it a place of spring. God makes it a place of springs. The early rain also covers it with pools. So some translations, so I'm reading from the ESV, and some translations will talk about the exact actual meaning of Baca. And mine did not. And so it prompted me to do a study on Baca, because I'm like, Valley of Baca, is this an actual place? Is this something that is a figure of speech? Like, what is this? So as I was studying Baca and studying what Baca meant, it pointed me to the original Hebrew translation that says the Valley of Weeping. And so what that did is it prompted me into just thinking about, man, this valley of weeping. When I get into a valley of weeping, whether if it's a loss or if it's anything that can cause something that that may not necessarily result in weeping, but may result in just any kind of emotion. Then as I'm going through the valley of depression, as I'm going through the valley of hardship, God will make this a place of springs. And so it doesn't mean that I have to stay there, man. God will always use that to start flowing forth just springs of His living water, of His compassion, of His grace, of His love. And I think one thing to get across is we are, as believers, going to go through those times, right? I know I can speak for me, man. I am figuring things out as I go. And how beautiful is that, right? That we serve a God that welcomes us back with open arms and just hugs us and loves us whenever we go through these times. Because sometimes it can be something that is just life. We go through something that just happens in life, or we go through something that happens as a direct result of one of our decisions. And so one of the things that as I was studying that, you look at Baca and you look at these Baca trees and they weep this sap. And so this sap is used for healing. And so when you start to study this and start to understand the valley of Baca, the valley of weeping, the valley of weeping sap that is used for healing, the valley of hardship. So again, it does not mean that you have to go through something that causes you to physically weep. It could be something you just need healing from. And so God is right there with you and will turn that place into a just springs of living water, of compassion, of love, of joy. Anyways, that was something that I ran across as I was doing a word study. Would highly encourage everybody to get in a concordance, because when we're studying what each one of these words means, it really opens up on Scripture and it allows the Scripture to come alive. And so one more thing, as I'm looking up above, it's one of my favorite scriptures, but this makes me think of just different things in business. When you're either working, it doesn't matter, you're in the marketplace, or you're just in life, and we go through our periods, or it may be a trait of ours to where we have pride, we have our ego, we have our arrogance, and then we read through Scripture of how we are to think of others as more than ourselves. What John 3:30 says about less of me, more of you, God. This is another one of those scriptures. I would rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my God than dwell in the tents of wickedness. So as we are thinking about the things that we do, that we intake on a daily basis, weekly basis, hourly basis, we should be running and fleeing from the things of wickedness. That can be music, TV, it does not matter. We should be filling ourselves with things of the Lord, and asking the Lord to give us His brokenness, to give us just His weakness, because we know when we are weak, He is made strong.